Good afternoon from Jack Rhodes Stadium in beautiful Katy, Texas on this June 11th. Father's Day coming up. We hope each and every one of you have a very blessed time with all of your families. Families are what the Bayou Bowl is all about. Families supporting their kids, seniors graduating from Texas high schools or Louisiana high schools. This year it's an East versus West matchup at the Bayou Bowl, which is where we're located at Katy's Jack Rhodes Stadium. Charles McCullough here, and this is our last broadcast of a long school year, which happens to coincide as being our first football broadcast as we look ahead to the fall. And that means I've got to be joined by Coach Ed Biles, and what an honor and a joy that is. Coach, I feel like I just saw you back last December at a playoff football game on KPRC 950. Now we're sitting right here on CMCBroadcasting.com, ready to call.
Well, let's get all those sissy games over with, that basketball and baseball. All those sissy games, nobody hits anybody. Let's go.
Wait a minute.
Let's get some football going, Charles.
We sure. I'll tell you what, the rain they had this last month for all of our playoffs, I'll tell you what, it tested the sissy in all of us, certainly me. And somehow we survived with God's grace. But, Coach, the East versus the West, this traditionally has been Texas versus Louisiana right up until this point. And now we're going to convert this into an East versus West.
2 years ago they
Texas.
decided to change that format. I don't know why they did it, but they did. And now it's really the East versus the West here. But, Charles, that's not important. And this ball game is not, the only importance of this ball game is that many of these youngsters are getting the opportunity to have a second look by colleges. Some of the colleges that may have some scholarships left. And some of these youngsters, actually, their career could very well be on the line out here tonight. It's not important the score. It's not important all the other stuff that usually goes. It's important how each of these individual players, how they perform tonight in the football game.
This game will be very much akin to what you might see in a scrimmage a week before the regular football season, upgraded to perhaps full body contact and some tackling, but it's not going to be as intense as a regular competitive
Yeah, the problem
football.
you have with a all-star football game is you don't have the players long enough together to get to know each other. The quarterback's throwing different receivers, et cetera, the whole part of the game that way. And the other problem you have is if they don't put some restrictions now, most of the time on special team, for instance, you're not allowed to block the punt or not try to block the extra point, field goals, et cetera. Most of the games of this nature, they usually say, well, you'll play man-to-man and maybe one type of zone. But my understanding that the coaches here have agreed that they can go all out. So you may see some blitzing. I think it'll be very difficult for either one of these teams to move the ball a lot in this game because of the restrictions and the rules that they have put up for this.
In another context, too, since this is largely not only East versus West Texas high school players, but largely East Houston versus West Houston area players, they are kids that in many contexts have seen each other before other instances.
Yeah, most of these schools, most of these youngsters from different schools have played against it.
That may allow for a little more contact interaction with each other.
Well, the other biggest factor here is what you don't want to see happen. You hope and pray, actually, that none of these youngsters get hurt.
Amen.
You don't want to get hurt in a game like this because some of these youngsters are going to smaller schools, the Mary Hardin, Baylor, the Blins, the Lamars, and a lot of junior colleges. You don't want these youngsters to get hurt because of something like that. So officials will be very, very careful about not allowing any bad things to go on. But the important thing tonight, like I said, is not the score. The important thing is that these youngsters get a chance to put on an exhibition and show folks that they are ready to play higher level football.
Well, we want to thank Assistant Athletic Director Scott Carter, who was formerly the Maid Creek football coach out here at Katy Independent School District. He's now one of the assistant athletic directors, and his hospitality to CMC Communications out here at Jack Rhodes Stadium is very much appreciated, as is that of the two directors of the Bayou Bowl each year, and they have been Coach Chris Massey of the Deer Park Fighting Deer, a good friend, golfing friend of Coach Miles, and then also Coach Dick Olin of legendary fame with the Baytown Leaguanders back in the day. His son set a state passing record as quarterback there, which still stands to this day. And we'll be talking to Coach Olin and Coach Carter at halftime a little bit later in this game. You know, Coach, indeed, for 50 years, the Houston Touchdown Club, which is the genesis of the Bayou Bowl, has brought in all kinds of fundraising that has helped materially.
I was at the one this year where they honored Archie Manning, and of course, especially interesting for me because I had traded when I was with the Oilers. I traded to get Archie Manning here, and I've known him for quite a while. And what a wonderful family! You talk about the football family. And here's Archie. His wife was the homecoming queen at the college she went to, Tennessee. Archie was all everything. And then they have 3 sons, Peyton, Eli, and Cooper. And Cooper was probably the best of the athletes nobody heard about, but he got injured. But Eli's playing for the New York Giants, and obviously Peyton just retired. That's one of the fantastic. What a family! They honored them this year, and I had a lot of fun reminiscing with Archie. Had a player of mine at college, and when I was at the Saints, I met Danny Bromwood. He and Archie are very good friends, so we reunited, had good talks down there.
And when you talk about class, you're talking about the Mannings, the HBO special where it has him poring over a book of memories and then discussing his sons, and then the efforts they've always made as a family, putting family and character first and then the football second. And made the football.
And they're also the people that they honored back in about 2007, I think it was. Maybe Andrew Luck was honored. Well, I drafted his dad, Oliver Luck, who's gone on to great heights with all kinds of things. And we talk again about another classy family.
Yes, sir.
Just great people. Lots of officials on this ball game tonight, Charlie. What they do here, because it's an all-star game, and one group of officials work the first half, and another group of officials work the second half. The referee in the first half will be Alvin White, umpire Ben Taylor, head linesman Rick Kestner, line judge Bob Sanders, field judge David Walker, side judge Willie Dempey, the back judge Andrew. And the second half we'll have another group of officials, and Epley and Gibson and Livingston, Hancock, Romance. So they have about 14 different officials, which is an unusual situation working the game.
And when we're talking about class individuals associated with high school kids, the development of collegiate athletes or professional rank football concerns, we're talking about Coach Ed Miles, too. Coach, let's talk about some of the things you've been involved with, charitably speaking. We've got an event, in fact, that you're heading up just this next Friday. Let's talk about that.
Well, that's a Greater Houston Coaches Association football game that we have a golf outing that the money goes for not the head coaches but the assistant coaches, the women and men's assistant coaches, their sons and daughters. That's the people that don't make a great deal of money, and I've been with it with Coach Chris Massey and Pat Patterson this has been the 9th year that we've had it out of Oakhurst, out over in the Kingwood side out there, and it will be this Friday. They have some openings there if you'd like to go. Contact Coach Massey or any of those people. They'll tell you all about it. But yeah, Charles, it's for a great cause. I'm very proud to be associated with that group of people.
Yes, sir, and indeed, contacting Coach Massey would be easy at his office number. He'll be there throughout the week. It'll be 832-668-7247, 832-668-7247. Coach Massey and Coach Dick Olin have been involved with this special event for many years now. This is the 14th annual Bayou Bowl, Coach. It's basically been, prior to this point, a 7-6, or I think a 6-6 tie between Texas and Louisiana for wins, and then starting last year,
they went
east and west.
I think one tie.
I
think maybe Texas might have had one game ahead in those cards.
One tie.
There was one
give
tie.
The balance the other way.
One tie in there somewhere along the line. But again, we're going back to what we talked about earlier, repeating ourselves. That's not important. The score of this game really doesn't mean a heck of a lot. Nobody can tell you what the score. It's kind of like scores at halftime of professional football. Nobody knows the score of halftime games, Charles. They never ask you the score at the halftime. What was the final score?
The aspect of it having been Texas versus Louisiana adds a little bit of flavor to this event. Of course, the last 2 years it's been strictly an east-west thing, and certainly this year. For those who listen to a lot of our CMC presentations that may be familiar with some of the kids that we cover from Pearland to Pasadena ISD to especially Clear Creek ISD, Lamarck, Texas City, those players are heavily represented on the East roster today. For example, we've got Etarius Giles from Channelview. Jarvis Ford, an outside linebacker, will be playing this afternoon from Texas City High School. From Dickinson, we've got John Littles Jr. I remember him just from this last fall. He's a great outside cornerback. From Lamarck High School, DeQuan Jones will be playing, number 23, and he's, along with all of these kids, Coach, trying to get a lot of good looks to a lot of scouts that are here. Many of them are already signed to junior colleges, but this is a way for them, many of those who are not committed, and for those who are to the smaller schools, for instance, to have coaches and scouts give another look at them, and then perhaps give them another opportunity going toward the fall. These are all graduated seniors getting that next step prepared for them, and that's a good deal.
Well, it's all, again, that's what we're kind of repeating ourselves a little bit, but that's what this is all about.
We can't say it enough.
It's not important for the radio, not important for the TV, not important for the fans.
That's why we'll be repeating it at the end.
It's all about those youngsters down that sideline having the opportunity to maybe, instead of a partial scholarship, they may get a full scholarship if they perform above and beyond in this ball game here this evening, Charles.
Also from the East roster, we have Deshaun Rushing from Clear Springs High School. What an outstanding defensive lineman he is, at 280 pounds. We've got from North Shore, Dominic DeRigi, who will be playing along with Will Gilchrist from Deer Park. Matthew Martin, also from Deer Park, and Joey Longoria. How many times did we call his name as outside linebacker for the Pearland Oilers this past fall? My goodness, what an awesome performer he is, and will be. And from Beaumont Westbrook, going over east a little bit, Christian Blewett, and the list goes on and on. We'll be
trying to mention them as we go through the ball of the game.
Yes, sir.
The West team is dressed in the white jerseys here, and the East team is dressed in the red jerseys. The white team has elected to kick off, deferring their choice to the second half, so they will be kicking off, Charles, right to left on your radio dial.
And back deep for the East, dressed in red. We just were enumerating some of the youngsters who will be performing for the East. Back near the 5-yard line, 2 youngsters who will receive the kickoff, and we're set to get underway with the 2016 East versus West Texas graduating seniors in the Gulf Coast area, Bayou Bowl. Charles McCulley here with you, along with Coach Ed Biles and Gerald Sanchez, and we're underway. It's going to be a high end-over-end, Coach, taken all the way down at the 2-yard line. They're going to bring it up to the 10. Bounce outside to the 20-yard line, to the 28-yard line. And, Coach, be a pretty good first down and 10 setup for the East.
Yeah, number 34, Javin James, a linebacker back there. He's headed going to Murray College.
He's from C.E. King High School.
C.E. King High School. Pretty good return to about the 27-yard line.
These kids are not wearing their normal high school uniform jerseys, as Coach Ed Biles alliterated. They're wearing, both wearing an assortment of red, white, and blue. It'll be red jerseys, white numbers, blue trousers for the East, white jerseys, blue trousers, red numbers for the West. Ball will be spotted on the 28-yard line. First down and 10 near the near hash mark. We'll have twins out to the far side, one to the near side. Shotgun snap, swing pass, and it is incomplete out to the far side as the whistles are blown.
Tried to run before he could catch the ball. Let's see what happens.
And it looks
legal
like
formation.
And that will happen when you have kids that have not played with each other before.
And they were trying to do something fast to try to surprise them, do something quick by having a formation. Wide receivers out there want to throw the ball to them and quick bet. And so it'll be 1st and 15, and that's not surprising.
Okay. We'll have one wide receiver out to the far side. It's going to be Jamaria Hartfield from Humble High School. Twins to the near side. Shotgun to the quarterback. Quick swing pass caught near side number 1. Bounce outside to the 26-yard line. Won't get much further. Completed now to Atarius Giles from Channelview High School.
160-pounder. That's the kind of youngster that gets a good look at a game like this. Smaller size like that, but maybe earn himself a scholarship to one of those schools.
Yes, sir. He's going to pick up 8 of the lost 10 yards.
No, he picked up about 2, Joe. 2nd and 12.
2nd down and 12. And I know they originally started at the 28. Ball now at the 26. Twins out to the far side, one near. Back in the shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Quick flare out, underthrown on a little bootleg.
Tyler Ferry, the quarterback, 6'3", 212-pounder from Magnolia West, is playing the quarterback.
Yes, sir.
Pretty good strong arm on that one. And again, that's, you can see the not being able to spend much time working together. It's going to be 3rd down and 12, but he put some pretty good zip on that pass.
He's a good-looking kid down there, Coach. His height really shows. It looks like he goes at least 6'3", and that's always a good bargaining chip for a youngster.
Especially with the size of the offensive defensive line. Got to be big enough to see over him now.
You got to look over him. Twins out to the far side, one near. Perry takes the shotgun snap, looking quick inside handoff, busting loose. He'll get a 1st down and more.
Yes.
Out to about the 39-yard line, and that was a pretty nice ball carry, Coach Eddie Biles, for DeQuan Jones from Lamarck High School.
Well, the West team was looking for passing, and they messed him up with the draw play, and they needed 12. He picked up 12 and a half.
Coach, you want one cat quick with all the that's a thread to burn in that uniform, 140 pounds, 5 feet 6 inches tall, DeQuan Jones. I'm sure he'll put on another 40 pounds as we move along through the summer.
I seem to think you've done a little bit in the offseason, Charles. Put a couple
yeah, I haven't pushed away from the table much. Inside handoff, pickup of about 2 yards. There's already some hard hitting going on in this game. Helmets are flying off. And
that's a pretty good size offensive lineman. Look at the size of that number 75. 6'4", 290-pound offensive lineman from North Shore.
Dominic DiRigi from North Shore High School, Coach.
How about that size? Woo! When I first went in the NFL, there's only one 300-pounder in the league. Roger Brown of Detroit. Now they're all 300-pounder bigger.
I'll tell you what, Coach, that is awesome. Twins out far side, one near. Perry takes the shotgun, rolling option pitch out, taken by 33. He can't scoot a boots, tries to stay on his feet. Number 33 on the ball carry is going to be?
That might have been 32.
32
Charles.
indeed.
32.
Willie Harvey from Klein Collins High School.
5'11", 215-pounder.
Yep. He's going to be brought down for the West. Looks like number 23, Austin Simmons from Cinco Ranch High School.
Another 3rd down there now.
Twins near, one out to the far side. Perry is still in there at the quarterback position, number 11. He's going to air a swing pass near side, but, Coach, it's incomplete.
Incomplete pass.
Intended receiver is 21 Griffin Lay, 5'9", 180 pounds from Kingwood High School.
Good job by the white team coaches telling the official that was a backward pass and it's incomplete. They moved it back about 3 or 4 yards.
Well, number 10 will be back deep. Jacob Yore from Katy Taylor High School, right out here in the Katy ISD. Coach Scott Carter will be talking at halftime with us about the Katy ISD. 10 high schools and growing. They've got a new one starting up next year. It'll be Pato High School.
I think this kicker, Charles, is Scott Marshall. He's headed to Colorado School of Mines.
Hey, there you go. If you
look at this punt formation.
Mine for gold out there. We got a high end over end. We wish him and pray a golden future for him, needless to add. Fair catch called for by Jacob Yore out at the 20-yard line. Katy Taylor graduate.
Boy, Charles, that was a great punt. That was about 48 yards with no chance to return. He had great hang time on that punt.
And a little bit of breeze going against him, to be honest with you.
No wonder he's got a little bit of a scholarship someplace.
I'll tell you what.
That was well done. All right, here comes the white team now, the West team.
The West team, this will be dominated by a lot of kids from Cy-Fair ISD and Katy ISD schools, as you might expect. One out to the far side, Twins near. In the shotgun formation, and we have a handoff. No, it's a quarterback keeper. He's going to be snowed under in the end zone, Coach.
Mm-hmm. Lose about 5 yards.
And little bit of a loss on that play, Coach Ed Biles.
Yeah, good play by Jalon Cooper, defensive lineman, and smelled that out, made the play.
All right.
He's from Spring, Texas, 6'2", 250-pound defensive lineman.
Well, we've got one slot to the right, one out far side. Inside handoff, inside draw, pick up maybe, 2-3 yards. Does not get back to the original line of scrimmage. And, well, they white and the red like they've tended to have done every year, Coach, whether it was Texas versus Louisiana. or East versus West, kind of feeling each other out here in these early goings.
Bring up 3rd and 12 for the West.
So a little 3rd down and 12 formation with a pistol. Motion man going back to the far side. And shotgun snap down there. And he's going to put it up. It's going to be a long bomb caught at the 40-yard line on the left side of your radio dial. Heavens to Murgatroyd, Coach. That was a pretty awesome reception.
It was a great move by the receiver, trying to catch his number child. He went down. Benny looked like he was going to move to the corner. Then he made his move to the middle, and he was wide open. Number 4. That is Brayton Kupeka. He's not on the original roster. He's a late added young man in there, so I can't tell you much about him, but there's another good pass.
Square out pass pattern. By the way, the quarterback is number 16, Deshaun Qualls from Jersey Village High School, Coach. 5'11", 170 pounds. Qualls threw that 50-yard spiral right on the dime, Coach. And just threw a square out pattern to number 11, Isaiah Levige. And he's from A-Leaf Taylor High School. The white team is moving down to the 37-yard line. Twins out far side. Qualls in the backfield.